All right. We should be getting some good audio now, I think. All right. Hello. Hello.
What time is Say coming?
Zay?
Yeah.
I'm not exactly sure.
All right. Going live. So setting up.
Going live, guys. So we're live on my YouTube, guys, and we're going to be talking to John Seiko. And you won't be able to see him, but you'll definitely be able to hear him.
Yeah, John Edder's mediating it. And all right. So we're just sorry for everybody, on the live channel. We're getting everything together, and we're getting the broadcast ready, and we're getting ready to share it out. So I am providing you guys with the links.
Tyler.
We are live.
Yeah, what's going on, guys? What's going on, guys?
Don't introduce. I have a format and everything. I mean, just give me 1 second, guys. I'm almost there. We're gonna put this out. Hold on. I'm putting it in Friends. Where else should we share it?
Motivation.
I'm not in motivation anymore, so if somebody wants to do that, that's completely fine.
Unfortunately, I'm still on Facebook jail, so I can share nowhere, but I'm going to send it to a couple of friends so they can share it for us.
There we go. So let me see.
Okay, yeah, so we're out. We're in pressure washing business building.
Okay. I guess I got to spam all the groups. Boom. And...
All right.
We're
going to get it going here, guys, so no problem.
Got this. All right. So I threw it in a couple groups myself, so kind of just is what it is at this point. And let me go back here. Yeah, we've got a few people watching, so.
Yeah.
All right, very cool. So, what's going on, everyone? My name is John, and we've got two members of the pressure washing community, the illustrious pressure washing community. And we had some call outs, we had some back and forth, we had some bantering and everything. And these gentlemen have decided to sit down, and we put our big boy pants on, and we are going to have a discussion that we all believe that the entire industry is going to benefit from. I put together a little small introduction here, so I want to say that I want to call out right off the bat, attacking people in this platform is absolutely wrong. It's not going to be something that's going to be tolerated. We don't want that. We don't want people attacking. Words are exchanged in these visible spaces, but there's a lot of collateral damage that's done behind the scenes. So these two members of the pressure washing community have been kind enough to share their time and their perspectives with us here today. So we want to respect that. Everyone here with comments is going to show respect with going forward. We will accept any questions or even hear critical feedback. Critical feedback, so long as it's communicated in a respectful way, free of accusation or malice. So no bad intents here. With that said, I want to go ahead and let the speakers introduce themselves. Mr. Derek, you're the challenger. You're the challenger of the commissioner out here. So, first of all, can you introduce your name and your service market?
All right, my name is Derek, Mr. Fresh Harper, and you guys might know me as Derek or Mr. Fresh. You dig? And I'm always coming at you with another video, and we're here live. And my service is pressure washing marketing. Okay, so I empower guys to market to, the pressure washer, market their pressure washing services and, gain customers on autopilot.
Nice. How long have you been in the pressure washing industry?
Well, this is year 5 for me in the pressure washing business. And I just went full time this year.
Nice, nice. And just briefly, can you list the credentials that you feel qualify you to provide the community with information?
Well, providing the community with information in the sense of the marketing aspect, I have been marketing for quite some time. I've been on Facebook ads since about 2015. And I have a master's in business administration. And, so that's where I get my marketing background from. So, that's what I feel like is, it gives me the credentials to kind of give guys tips and pointers and things like that. And not only do I have the formal training, but, I actually practice it myself. So, yeah.
Yeah, and you've been in the industry for 5 years, so yeah, okay, all right. Well, I appreciate you, and this is Mr. Derek. This is Derek, Mr. Fresh Harper.
Yeah.
And we are doing it. Oh, my daughter's coming in here with some stuff. All right. Love you. Told her not to come in here. All right. And next we have the commissioner. If you don't know him, now you do. Mr. John, can you introduce yourself, your name, and your service market?
How you doing, everybody? Good evening. My name is John Sacco. The name of my company is Above and Beyond Exterior Cleaning. We specialize in the house washing, concrete cleaning, and also which that's one of the things we used to do since 1995, the paver cleaning and sealing industry.
Let me see. What was I doing in 1995? I think
you were in high school, probably.
Man,
yeah.
I think even less than that. I think I was in like middle school. You guys got me. You got me, man. All right. And how long have you? Well, you said 1995. So how long have you been in the pressure washing business total? Since 1995.
What's that put me on? Like 25 plus years or something?
Yeah. Okay. And that said, what other credentials qualify you to kind of speak to the community and give them good information?
Well, one of them is, my experience in the industry. Also, coming back into the business, because I did take a little break from it from 2008 to like 2015. About 2018, I came back and pretty much went through lots of courses from reputable companies in the industry, like Pressure Wash University, the courses one of the organizations out there puts out, the PWNA, pretty much just to come back with all the new technologies, which a lot of them have come out since the day I started. And, I hold certifications for a lot of their courses. That doesn't mean that I'm certified and, that qualifies me for anything, but I went through the courses to learn how to do everything properly.
So you're saying you have your experience plus the experience courses and their experience. So like in one person's, it's multiple years of experience.
That's correct.
Okay. Yeah. No, these are great credentials. I don't have the college degree, nor do I have the 400 years of experience. So you guys are really great people to have, and thank you again for your time. And everybody watching this, please give these guys a big thank you for them taking the time to talk to us today.
Hey, we want to thank you for moderating this for us.
Yeah,
absolutely, man.
Thank you very much.
I thought it was like Derek had brought this up, and I thought this was a great conversation to have. I was really like, it's so funny. We had talked one day, and then that same day, he's like, "Hey, we got the craziest conversation coming." I was like, "I want to be a part of it."
Yeah, yeah.
So, I mean, how do you guys want to do this? Do you guys want to get right into this? What do you think?
I'll give Derek the floor right now. To express his feelings. Then we can go from there.
Okay.
Okay. Well, you know, there's an overall theme I think inside of the pressure washing industry that when someone is new or maybe out there spreading information that may not be the best way to handle a situation as far as cleaning a house or cleaning anything. uh, I think that there are some people that they like to come on to the post and they like to say, you know, what we deem as negative things. So they might say, that's not how you do it. You're doing it all wrong, and you're going to tear somebody's thing up, or they share it to their friends and they're like, look at this, and they're laughing at you, and I think instead of doing that, it should be more like, hey, pull the guy to the side and say, hey, if you do this, this is what potentially could happen. Like for years, for a couple of years, because I actually learned from a guy who learned from a guy. So for the first maybe year or two, I'm riding with the Ryobi, the 2.3 gallon per minute machine. I'm riding with the Ryobi, and I knew absolutely nothing about just taping up the boxes on the outside of the houses, the cable boxes and things like that. I'm just washing because that's what I learned. And then as time went by and I wanted to grow the business, I started researching things and learning new things. And I realized, hey man, I can really tear somebody's house up if I continue to wash without covering these boxes and covering these electrical outlets and things like that. So that's when I started doing that, and then I started getting intrigued and started learning more. But I just think that the people that are coming on, they're kind of attacking the guys instead of just saying, hey, pull us to the side and say you shouldn't do it like this. Here's the reason why. Let me show you something that some other guys did that those funny pictures and memes that we see in the groups where someone has like tried to wand with a red tip a concrete, and they're like, oh, I'm all done, I've done how do you guys think it looks, so if we start telling the guys, hey, this is what it'll look like if you try to do it like that. All right, so that's just my stance.
And I want to summarize that for everybody in the comments, everybody watching. And I just want to take a moment. Thank you, everybody, for keeping the comments clean. You guys are great. More of that. And if you have any questions, concerns, thoughts, or anything about what these guys are saying, please drop them in the comments. We want to hear what you have to say, and I'll read it to these guys and make sure your questions get heard. So just a quick summary. It sounds like when somebody perceives that you're doing something incorrectly or not industry standards, guys are saying that they're calling you out publicly instead of pulling you aside and having a conversation with you, and that's the part that's disheartening.
Right, yeah.
Okay, so John, what are your thoughts?
Well, we have to understand something. When you become a public person, whether it be through Facebook, whether it be through YouTube, whether it be through Instagram, TikTok, and all those social media platforms, you're putting yourself out there for criticism. Sometimes might be constructive criticisms, but as we all know, 90% of the time are going to be negative criticisms. Okay? You just gotta, how can I say this? You just gotta go with the flow, pretty much, because that's what pretty much you're doing. You're putting out yourself out there to do that. And if you have a YouTube channel that you are putting the wrong information out there, and you are trying to, charge people to give them that wrong information, there is going to be people out there, whether it be newer or older generation, successful people. I'm not going to use the newbies and the veterans. Educated and educated people. That's how we're going to start interpreting this, because there's there's new guys out there that catch all the information really quick and they apply it.
Mhm.
Okay, there is a lot of people that get the information. It takes them a minute or two to understand it, but they still feel like they got to put their 2 cents out there and tell people how to do things. Those guys need to understand that when you're putting yourself out to social media, you are gonna get criticisms, lots of them. Okay, so we are. The other thing is when we are behind a screen or behind a phone. Okay, we don't see people's reaction. Okay, we only see typing. Okay, and lots of people can take it the wrong way, even though the person typing it behind the screen doesn't mean it that way. So that is, and I agree with Eric 100%. I think we have lost the touch of talking to people. Now everything has to be text, email, and typed. Um, I'm old school. I still like to talk to people, but sometimes the guys need to understand that not everything out there is criticism directly to them. It could be an advice. It could be something that we're pointing out to them, but they just, uh, the first human reaction they're gonna have is they're gonna feel, attacked, and that's not all the time what is really happening.
Okay. Derek, do you have a response to that?
Um, yeah, I mean, just a quick response. I think delivery plays a part in that. You know, I think the way some of the older, more veteran, seasoned guys, um, think their delivery is just what is causing the issue. Like I see what you're saying. I see what John is saying. Um, and as a young, I would still say a young guy in the business, I would welcome, the constructive criticism or the pointers. I would say, the pointers are valuable to me. As I'm out there watching and learning how to do things and being more efficient and doing things so I don't have to use my business insurance, right? You know, I had a partner, and my partner and I split up because of that same reason. Because as I am going through the business, I'm learning. And I'm learning things how to do things the right way, and he's still doing it the way that he learned from the other guy, whoever he learned from. And I'm like, dude, this is not the right way to do it. And he's like, man, I've been doing this for this long, and so I can't tell him not to do it that way. So, you know, um, I think that's where we bumped heads. So that's the reason why we split. And a good reason uh, to listen to those more seasoned guys is because they are more seasoned and they can help you in a lot of different ways.
Correct. Correct.
All right. Yeah, a lot of great gems dropped here, guys. And I apologize if I'm looking away. I'm hearing you, but I'm also trying to monitor these comments. We've got some great questions coming in here, and I want to get to those in just a moment. I think we made some really great points right off the bat, and are starting to see a little bit of common ground amongst each other already. So I'm going to ask some of the hard questions that I've heard. I think not just from John or other police figures or whatnot. I want to ask. I've talked to a handful of veterans, and as I really like what John said as far as educated versus uneducated, and I think that really needs to be the new terminology: educated versus uneducated versus veterans and new guys, because there are some guys that have been doing this for 10 years that have no idea what they're talking about. So it's I really like that distinction. And then I've talked to a lot of guys that are just getting into it, or a lot of quote unquote new guys. Even though Derek's been doing this for 5 years, he's the new guy, whatnot. So I want to ask some questions kind of framed in that context. So I've got 3 questions basically built for each of these gentlemen. I provided them with the questions so they can kind of wrap their head around it and really understand what I'm talking about. So I want to ask those questions now. Is that okay, guys?
Yep.
All right. So we'll start off with Derek. You've been in the pressure washing world for part-time for about 5 years and recently saw fit to go full-time as far as your occupation. You've been grouped in, and I use the word grouped in, you've been grouped in as the new guy in the industry. Who are you speaking to with your content and what are you offering them?
Well, like I said, I'm speaking to, pressure washing business owners who are struggling with Facebook ads. They're spending a lot of time just going out, posting bills. And what that means is you're going out and you're putting out flyers or door hangers and you're dealing with the magnets and you're putting out bandit signs. While those things work great, your time is much better spent working, actually working and cleaning houses than spending that time out there marketing. I don't have that time to go out there and market. So what I'm teaching them to do, bring those customers in on autopilot. So you have to do that. Now you can go throw, stuff out on Google. You can post things out on Facebook ads, and yes, they'll work. But I'm showing you a streamlined way in which you can get these people calling your phone like day after day after day. So that's who I'm actually speaking to. So my content on my channel is pressure washing related because that's what I'm doing. I'm pressure washing, but under that surface is the marketing part of it. Because a lot of guys are struggling with that area. So I'm here to help them. And if you watch my channel, Flipping Fresh, shameless plug. If you watch my channel, you'll see that I provide a lot of great value when it comes to marketing. Okay, and I wouldn't call myself a guy that you get pressure washing information from. Like, this is the holy grail of pressure washing information.
Okay. Sorry, I'm just dropping a link to your channel below so that people want to check you out, they definitely can. And I'm dropping that into the comments. All right. So I want to follow up because I want to follow up to what you just said with kind of a harder hitting question. And I've heard this argument a lot. You have a growing YouTube channel. You're really good at video editing too. We're really good. Where you offer tips on. So looking at all your videos, you offer tips on pressure washing. You offer walkthroughs of work that you actually. I'm sorry. You offer tips on pressure washing business.
Right.
You offer walkthroughs of the work that you perform.
Right.
And you offer some marketing strategies.
Right.
Do you believe that content creators have a responsibility to provide contextually accurate information? What I mean by that, and I know those are like a couple big words strung together there, is, and I'll give you an example where I was called out, where
some people are saying on the comment, F the police. So that's very respectful.
Yeah. So, we want to be respectful the whole time.
So far, we're starting good, especially with the leaders in the industry. They're doing a good job.
Hey, John, the phone's breaking up a little bit, so I don't know if you're like far away from Wi-Fi or something.
Right.
Your phone's breaking up a little bit, so I don't know if you're a little bit far from Wi-Fi.
I'm good.
Okay. All right. Cool. So yeah, just like if we can keep the chat clear, make sure that we're not disrespecting anybody out here. But I had a piece of content that was called out because I had gave a claim which was true, but I didn't give the context behind it, which is honestly more valuable. So that's like saying I made $10,000, but it cost me $999 or $9,999 to make it. Right. So you've only made a profit of $1.
Right.
So what I'm saying is, do you feel that content creators have a responsibility to provide information that is contextually accurate?
Yes, they do. And
I'm sorry, there's a follow-up to that. And if so, what steps do you take to provide that you're ensuring the best information?
Okay, so yes, we have the responsibility. Yeah, no, we have the responsibility to put out, you know, accurate information. And I think the context question, um, it questions my ability. It questions my integrity as a marketer because, well, not really question my integrity, but when you're doing marketing, let's take the $99 guy for example. Everybody hates that guy, right? But if I'm putting a an ad out there that says, "Hey, I'm doing $99 starting at," the customer is thinking, "All right, well, I can get my house done for $99." Well, no, you're not getting your house done for $99. Is That's just my starting point. When you call me, I'm just trying to get a bunch of calls coming in, and I'm going to weed out the people who really just want it for $99, and I'm just going to get the people who I can upsell. So that's the context behind that when we're talking about with marketing. So I feel like it's the same on this end when you're actually talking about telling guys, results, right? Um, any type of result that I've given, I've been, transparent. Like I've shown the inside of my Facebook ads account, and people have seen inside, and I don't blur anything. So anything in there, I've got a Christmas sock ad going. So that was just an example that I put up there. But so inside, I've been transparent, and I do believe that guys who are selling things in that realm should in context be truthful, right? So if you're saying you're making $10,000 a month, are you really making $10,000 a month profit, or is that your gross sales, right? So if your gross sales are 10,000, like you said, but if you are, spending 5,000 to make that 10,000, then you're really only making 5,000 a month, right? So yeah, in a nutshell, yes.
Okay. And I wanna redirect. So thank you for those answers. And guys, if we can keep the comments, not accusations, right? I'm gonna repeat that. We're starting off good, but we're starting to get a little bit more accusation here, right? So you either come with criticism that is used to help this conversation, or shut the hell up. I'm gonna like, we don't need it. Like the industry doesn't need that. We won't, right? Not, yeah, just anything that's going to help this conversation. John,
Can you hear me?
yes, sir. Yes, sir. I can hear you good. So you have been called the pressure washing police, and most recently you've been promoted to the pressure. So first of all, what do you? Why do you think that you've been donned this title? And uh, when you perform these actions to get this title, what do you hope to accomplish?
Okay. I think that I've been awarded the name because I'm a straightforward person.
Okay.
I don't sugarcoat things. You know that better than a lot of people. But at the same time, I say I mean what I say, and I do exactly what I say. A lot of people take my comments, my advice the wrong way because that's it. I'm just see you telling somebody on a YouTube video that you are charging $99, and I'm not going to be mentioning any names here. That's not what the point of this video is.
Hey, John, your video and your audio is breaking up a little bit, and I don't want any gems get lost of what you're saying. So I just want to take a moment, let things reset, and then have you keep going. I want to hear everything you're saying. Then I think we're back good.
So what I was saying is that if I see somebody with a platform, a YouTube video, especially the YouTube video, because that's a way for people to monetize their content.
Sure.
And I also see people given the wrong information, okay? Like, for example, and I'm going to repeat this again, so in case anybody didn't hear me, I'm not going to be mentioning any names, but I am going to be mentioning actions,
John, we lost you a little bit.
Advices, the wrong advices that I've seen. So, looking at a video, YouTube videos, to take the flyers, you need to take your postcards and stick them in people's mailboxes. Okay? That is the first bad advice that you can give anybody if you're trying to help them with marketing your business. That is a federal offense. Okay? You will go to jail. You cannot put a finger on a mailbox, because if it happens that somebody lost a mail, and now these people have cameras all over the place, and they see you opening that mailbox and sticking something in it, you're going to jail. You're going to get accused of theft. Okay? So if you start advising people that, I'm breaking? Can you hear me?
Started advising people that.
So if you're advising people to do that right there, and you actually charging people for those advices, that is what our problem is. I think all the people advising, teaching people, charging people for this information, how to clean a wood deck with 70% mixed bleach. That is definitely no. You don't do that. You're barely supposed to use 1%, if anything. Okay, and that's a quick wrong advice that I've seen in the YouTube channel, is people telling people to spray full strength bleach on roofs and leave without rinsing.
So I have a question that I want to pose to both of you, and it's not in my list of questions here. It's kind of something that's been inspired from what the conversation that we've had before, so far. Is we've talked about wrong information, we've talked about right information, and right and wrong can be extremely subjective, but also right and wrong can be completely objective. It could be something, like, for example, opening a mailbox is objectively wrong. It is a federal offense. You cannot open a mailbox. Now, there are people that will tell you washing a house, like you said, with 75% bleach, is right. You'll have people that say, only do. Let's pose this to Derek first, because John, I want to give your phone a little bit of time to catch up the audio and the videos off sync a little bit. But Derek, if you're a new guy, because that's who this video is for the most part, is like all the new guys out there and all the people looking for information, because that's what we're providing. How do you tell the difference between what is right and what is wrong? Like, I guess the question for you is, like, because you experienced this, how did you know that the practices you were doing were as wrong that you were taught?
Okay, so this is where I have to shout out some of the guys out in the pressure washing. Well, it's more a pressure washing motivation group, but I put some things out, and then there were some guys in there that said, "Hey, I'm not trying to rain on your parade or anything. You got great video, great content, but hey, you need to stop doing X, Y, or Z, because this is the reason that it could happen." And at first I was like, yeah, whatever. I've been doing this, that attitude. But then I started to watch more videos, and I'm like, okay, well, what this guy's telling me is correct. I can do it. And I found myself saying the same exact thing to my my ex-partner, and just watching them put on a yellow tip and go right up on the side of a house and swipe, swipe, swipe. And I'm like, dude, if you don't stop doing that, I'm going to leave you right here with the equipment and I'm going to be gone and you're going to have to deal with fixing that, So yeah, you just kind of
where you had to put yourself out there first,
right,
of the jobs that you were doing,
mm-hmm.
and then from there you had to get criticism from guys like John and other veterans that or other educated. I'm going to start saying the word educated because I love that word.
Right.
Other more educated individuals. But if you had never put yourself out there, if you never had the ambition of trying to create content, you were just a guy running a business pressure.
Yeah, I would have.
Okay, yeah, and this is why these videos are so powerful. This is why this kind of content is so powerful, and the reason why more resources for good education need to be highlighted, and we need to be empowering these education resources so that guys have good reputable places to go to that's being pushed on them, and not that they have to actively all the arguments that come. I mean, it just makes life significantly easier. So I'm going to pose the same question to John here. How do you know when a piece of information is wrong versus right? How do you determine that?
Watching the content that the new guys are putting out there.
Oh, I'm sorry. I meant like, let's say it's something you don't know. Let's say it's a new piece of things.
Sure.
How do you, when you see a content fresh?
Just to clarify, I don't know everything. I'm almost 50. I'm almost 50 years old, and I'm still learning.
Absolutely, you always have to keep learning. Absolutely. So if you get, let's say you want to add fleet, say you want to add a different form to your business. How do you know? How do you qualify information? Like, if I'm new, how do I know what is right and what is wrong without putting myself out there like Derek did?
Don't get me wrong. When I say about the YouTube platform, doesn't mean that all the information that is on YouTube is wrong. There is a lot of successful companies out there that put a lot of good content. So what you do is you go to those channel companies, see how big their business is, how much cleaning do they do, and if they offer any sort of education, then go to them. And sometimes you have to pay, $3,000, $4,000, $1,000 to learn something, because you're gonna get that money back with the right education.
No, I think that's a really great point. I think that's taking that investment into the education. I think we all need to become more proponents of that. It's like buying the courses. Everybody's saying go out and buy $1,000 pressure washer, go out and buy a 4-gallon pump or 4-gallon machine. But nobody's going out and saying go out and buy this course. Maybe one every 100 posts or 200 posts. And I think that that's something that our industry or that the groups could do to. I would like to see the group stand with credible information, like you said, guys that have built the business, that know what they're doing, that that have been doing this for a while, and yeah, I think that would be a really great thing for our whole industry to get behind, because honestly, it comes as somebody who just started myself. I run into that a lot where I don't know what I don't know, and sometimes the information has to be put out there, and I need to be told that that I don't know. Sorry, I got to put somebody in comment jail for a minute.
Yeah, hey guys, HD, please, let's keep it clean, bro. Let's keep it clean. There's no need for any of this FI or this and that. We're not here to make fun of people. Okay, we're doing something important here. This is not for anybody to take this as a joke, like Mr. Ron Musgrave there putting his funny comments there.
Yeah.
Okay, Ron. Yeah, the police, myself, will do something about that. and probably you will be the first person I'll be calling out because you're trying to be funny.
Well, hold on.
But I'm not gonna do that.
No, we're not trying to do that.
But I'm not gonna do that.
We don't want to say.
Keep it respectful, Ron. Okay,
Right.
this is not about you. This is nothing about you. You always, trying to be funny
John,
and putting your comments out there, and it doesn't work that way.
It's okay, John. We're here for the greater picture, right? We want to time people out that can't comment correctly, and take care of that. Let's focus on the conversation, because I think I'm hearing a lot of great stuff here, and I'm learning a lot from both of you guys, honestly, and it's really great. So we want to keep these gyms going for everybody that is here for the great content and that is here to raise you guys up, because you guys are both giving some really great information. And what's the truth is, there's guys in this group, there's gals in this group that are going to find themselves in one of your positions, and they're going to have to, like, there's somebody out there, Derek, that is washing a house and doesn't know that they don't know. There's somebody out there, John, that's a veteran, and he doesn't understand the new way of doing things or the better way of doing things. There's so many variations to what we're doing out here that this conversation has to be had, and I think it's a really great platform to have it. So again, thank you guys for coming on and doing this for the community. This is really great. You guys are awesome. And let's not get distracted with the comments. Let's keep on the conversation. So I'll go right into the next question here to keep us focused. Let me see. I want to go. There was one. Okay. So Derek, this has to go with what you were talking about a little bit earlier about hearing things the right way. So I'll ask this question. There is an argument that says that people have been in this industry for a while, do not understand how to communicate their grievances with those who are just starting out and operating as a resource. So, new guys creating content, right?
Right.
As a representative of the new guy perspective in this group, how can a veteran or educated person, whatever we want to call it, provide feedback about your engagement or your content in a constructive manner? Like, how can you hear that where it is receptive to you?
I think, just starting out with, hey, look, I see what you're doing. You're doing a great job. Because one of the things, because before I was doing this, I was teaching. So one of the things that we learn what we do when we're teaching, if a kid is doing something wrong, what we do is we start with a positive and then we go to the negative. So it's like, hey man, that was a great, you got a great video out there. I love that you're taking the initiative to be out there. But here I saw something that you did, and that this could cost you a lot more money in the long run if you don't do it the correct way, or you don't do it in a different way that you're doing it, because the way that you're doing it is could potentially do this, X, Y, or Z. And and that's what someone said to me, when I was doing some content. And, again, my intention when I was doing content earlier on was never to really just teach people how to pressure wash. It was more showing you that I'm doing it, and this is you can watch me go through what I'm doing, and really I wanted to be that guy to just kind of help you with your marketing and get yourself out there and get your business rolling.
Okay. Let me see. Can I ask a? Let me see.
The tough questions is coming.
When you think about your next question, okay, I want to say something.
Please.
And I want to clear this for everybody in the industry. Okay, and that's one of the comments that are posted. I hope everybody can see it. I'm not the pressure washing police. Okay, because if I would be the police, trust me, I got a lot of people to arrest, even veterans, even educated people. Okay, because they just don't know how to handle themselves in front of people or in camera. Okay, with that being said, we love, we welcome, and we want the new guys. We need a new generation because we're getting old. Okay, we're not gonna be here forever. So we need those new guys to come in and learn, and learn. Forget about trying to monetize yourself through YouTube videos or through new guys. We welcome the guys. We want to teach the guys. Our problems is those new guys that don't have experience in the industry, okay, are trying to make money off the people that are suffering right now, okay? They don't know what to do. So they're preying on the people that are trying to do something for their families, okay? That is our problem. We don't have a problem with the new guys. We have a problem with the new guys that are teaching the wrong information. To make that clear for everybody, okay?
Sure.
Because we hear it, and not from many people, but just from a few of them. They even make their own YouTube videos, your live videos, saying that we are against the new guys. By no means necessary we are against the new guys. We welcome them with open arms, okay? Because we need them. But understand that your time is to learn. You know what I mean? Your time is to learn, not to put out content for other new guys that don't know nothing. You're putting bleach, 70% bleach on wood deck. You're putting pure bleach on roofs. Okay, you're telling people to open mailboxes. That's not the right education. Hold on one second.
For sure.
That's not the right information that you need to provide for the new guys. Because you know what? They are the ones.
John, your phone's breaking up.
Affected with the results. Not only, can you hear me?
There we go. That sounds better now.
And the long term for our industry is creating more problems, not only for them, but for us that they have. And now we're going to go out there and get insurances. Liability insurance policies has skyrocketed in the last couple of years, 2-3 years. And it's because of that reason. So many damages in those homes because of people that don't know what they're doing. And plus, you're gonna make this definitely unacceptable. Not just here.
So I wanna play devil's advocate here for John, and ask Derek this question. And I'm kind of asking this question of myself in my head too. So to kind of piggyback on his thing, let's say. So I just to offer a summary. He's saying, and I think a lot of people saying that new guy should, before speaking on a subject, and somebody may think 10 houses and 10,000 houses. We all have this different subjective number in our head of what quote unquote experience is. Or number of years, right? Mm-hmm. Because they could be in the industry for 10 years and wash 10 houses, or you could be in the industry for 1 year and wash 100 houses, right? So right. It all comes down to like the subjective math equation that everybody has to kind of decide for themselves. But what is the responsibility of the content creators of rushing? And I'm going to use the word rushing because I think that's the word that the advocates against this point would want is rushing to make the content for the monetization and the other benefits that come with content creating. Rushing to make the content before you have the breadth of experience and somebody take that information and does something that not only hurts the customer's home but hurts the industry, like John says, the insurance premiums go up, and it doesn't happen just because we all use this same insurance companies. There's like 20 insurance companies that take care of pressure washing. So when it goes up for John, or it goes up for you, Derek, it also goes up for me.
Mhm.
So when because they're nationwide companies for the most part. So when we give advice, because we're and I'm gonna say when we're rushing to create content early in our pressure washing career, what responsibility do we have to the industry um, uh, for the long term effects that we have on it, the negative long term effects that we have on it?
Um, as a creator, it's hard for me to say, hey, don't jump out there until you learned enough, because as a creator and as a business person, it the whole our whole thing about mindset and mindset change is, don't worry about what it looks like, get out there, right? And that's kind of what we kind of tell guys that are thinking about starting a business, because the more that you sit there and you think about it, then the more time you're wasting, right? So I wouldn't be an advocate of telling guys to expound on a subject you don't really know too much about. Okay. But then there's the other side of that. The other side of the coin is, those guys could be like me, who thought I knew what I was doing, because I had learned from someone that had learned from someone who had 20 plus years in the industry. And come to find out, like John said, veterans are still doing things wrong, right? So,
Sure.
In my case, I learned from someone, so I'm like, okay, I can get out here and do this. I've learned this. I've been doing this for a few years, and I think I can get out there and I can tell these guys what I know, at least what I know. If I don't know something, I'm not going to put it out. Like, I'm not going to tell someone how to, clean a chimney because I don't know how to do that. If I just started cleaning chimneys. But I do want to kind of point out, one, make a disclaimer: the videos that John was talking about, they were not mine. The ones were leaving hot bleach on a roof. Now I know better than that. So I just want to make that disclaimer. But the other thing is, um, jumping in these groups, man, a lot of the new guys feel like they can't even ask a question. That's the reason why I built Pressure Washing Business Building Question Safe Zone group on Facebook, because a lot of guys felt like, I get into pressure washing friends, or I get into pressure washing motivation, and I ask a question, and then some guy says, I say, here's just something I'm just throwing out there. Let's just say they were saying, how do I, use my surface cleaner to clean this driveway? And somebody says, don't use a surface cleaner, use a red tip, and make sure you get really close up there. A guy that doesn't know might think, hey, I'm learning from a guy, and everybody's laughing. And somebody might say, like, it's like, here, I just bought some new stuff, guys. I'm getting ready to start my pressure washing business, and it might be a 15-inch Ryobi, uh, surface cleaner. And then somebody say, hey, man, you're better off using a pencil and a thumbtack, and you can clean faster than that. So there are that in those groups.
You bring up a great point, and actually that is a great point. That question was brought up in the comments. When the comments were still good, and now it looks like it's just flooded with people wanting to talk out of their ass. But I want to highlight this, because that was a really great point and a really great question that was asked in the comment. And I want to start off by asking John.
Bro, if I tell you how I feel, I'm about to blow this up. But what I do want to say is, I'm with you. That is the reason why inexperienced people, uneducated people, are creating Facebook groups. Okay, that is one of the reasons why uneducated people are creating Facebook groups, because there is a lot of new guys out 15, 20, 25,000 people, okay? And they ask a question and they'll get judged, ridiculized. And, you know, it's like, why am I joining a group of people that could help me? And they're making me feel low. They're making me feel, you know, unappreciated. That's what these guys, you know, the other motive, bring them into the group. So now I have more uneducated people that I can charge for something that I don't even know. So I'm with you on that, 100%. The administrators and moderators of 90% of the groups out there need to do a better job or get out and get new people that are willing to do the job. Because they are not. This guy's not motivated to say a damn thing about it.
Yeah. So I mean, well, so you know, my question is, a guy that's brand new, and they come into a group and it's like, okay, I'm in this group because I know I can ask questions, and you get in there and you ask questions, and somebody says, "Come on, dude, go Google it." I was like, well, what's the purpose of being in the group? If you know, then I was like, well, you know what? I'll just go watch a video. And then one of the guys like you're talking about, who probably don't know much, but they have videos out there because you know they're trying to monetize their channel or whatever, and they're giving out bad information. They listen to that guy because that guy is willing to offer them the information, where everybody else, where you thought you're going to be able to get the information, they're telling you to go to Google. So it's like people are now scared to ask a question in the group.
That's correct.
And if I could find like a harmony between like both of these perspectives, because what John is saying is 100% true. What Derek is saying 100% true. I've been a guy where I've asked a question in the group and have gotten raked over the coals, and then but at the same time, understand the perspective of if you're on the job and you have to ask a question, then you're not qualified to do that job.
Mhm.
All right, you know, it's kind of like put that in any other professions. Like if you get a job as a cook and you go back there or as a sous chef, and you go back there and they say, hand me the skillet, and you have no idea what a skillet is, well, why the hell did you apply for that job? You know, the job didn't say we're going to give you on the job training. In fact, there's no on the job training as a business owner, or it's all on the job training as a business owner, or you have to educate yourself. So I completely understand both sides of the argument, where, you know, asking a Facebook group about a how to do a job while you're on the job, and you've decided to take a customer's money from that, I can understand how that could be perceived negatively. So can we both decide here and now that the best course of action is to, one, not take jobs that you're uncomfortable doing, and if you decide to go out and bid a job, okay, so I guess the first thing is, before you go on a job, make sure you're educated enough to do that job, right? I think that's a healthy thing to kind of wrap our minds around. And if you're not qualified to do that job, then pass it off to somebody who is local in your local network. Do we feel like that's a healthy compromise?
Yeah. I was going to say that if you know,
not only just pass it to another job. Get somebody that is experienced in your area, that is willing to help you. Go and work for him for a couple of, if that would be a good free education. Go and work for the guy. Tell him, listen, bro, I'm gonna freaking work for you for a week. You don't have to pay me a dime, but I want you to teach me the ropes. Okay? I don't go out there and ruin other people's property. Okay? After you do that, you know, start working on it yourself, but with that knowledge already. Okay?
There's a great point. You know, when I first started, I had somebody reach out to me about that, you know, offered to train me on the spot.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So here's
another thing is, sorry, Derek, one more thing. The becoming so personal. You know, and I'm not, please, this is for the younger generation. Don't take this the wrong way, but sometimes too much sensitivity comes out before you start thinking of what we're telling. So sometimes we do like Derek said, we put a comment. Sometimes we can make it as beautiful as possible as a comment. But if you don't have that open mind, you're always going to think that we're nagging, that we're telling you that you're doing everything wrong. Not all the time it's coming out like that. Okay, like the post that the one video I was saying about the mailboxes. Okay, I posted a comment there. I'm not gonna say, hey, beautiful video, buddy, you're doing an awesome job, but don't do this, don't do that. Not everybody is the same. Not everybody speaks that way. So my response was, you will go to jail. It is a federal offense. And they took that as I'm being negative.
Sure.
So be open-minded to other people's comment. Not everything has to be on the negative side for you. Sit back, think about it, and say, maybe this guy is something. Let me do my research on that. That's how you educate yourself as well.
Yeah, I think we have both sides here. I want to address these comments here real quick, guys. The comments are, I'd really like to be a part of this conversation that these guys are having and dropping some serious gems here. And the comments are just getting, it's just people hitting the keyboards, and just kind of talking out of their ass, guys. Like, if we let's keep these comments about the conversation. If you have a real question, I want to ask these guys while we have them here. We've got somebody with you said a master's in business.
Yes.
A master's degree.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's a 5-year degree, guys. Like, that's not easy. Anybody that's taken a master's course knows that is an accomplishment. Okay. We've got somebody here that's been cleaning since 1995. How many of you are? What were you doing in 1995? And this guy was out here grinding. We have an opportunity. This is an opportunity to talk to these guys and to really get these gems that these guys have. And I feel like these comments are just squandering it, and they just want to. Everybody just wants to, have their own say. So, like, if you have something to say that's relevant and that's going to add to this conversation, we want to hear it. And I want to ask these guys while we have them on the line. We don't have them forever. If the comment doesn't have anything to say about that, then go somewhere else. Watch some Netflix, watch some YouTube, whatever you want to do. Just it just muddles it up for everybody that is actually trying to learn. Because I'm here trying to learn from these two. I don't have 25 years experience, so I'm using this as an opportunity to get my questions out because these guys are awesome.
And if I could drop drop a gem, like you guys were saying, if you don't know how to do a job, like you're saying, ask someone in your network that's networking with people that you know. But think about this: not only are you passing the job off to them, but then you could take a commission for giving that person a job. So now you're getting money for not having to do anything because you sent a person, you referred a job to someone and just taking a fee, right?
100%. And I actually did that. I didn't know how to clean cedar shake roofs. I still don't know how to clean cedar shake roofs. I turned that down and I handed off to another cedar shake. What is it called? Well, I don't mess with cedar shake at all, but cedar shake specifically on this one was cedar shake French roofs. Where it's like damn near 80 degree angle on all sides. And I don't mess with that, and I pass that off. And that was an opportunity I have to know that I don't want to do that anytime soon. And I got a commission off of that. So no, that's a great point that you could pass it off to somebody that is more experienced. And please know this, guys. Like, this is something that you could do as a newbie, as an uneducated person. If you made the sale, or if you made the contact, if you paid for the Facebook ad or the Home Advisor ad, or you knocked on the door, and it turns out that you don't know how to do the job, find reputable people in your area. Like, if I was around John, I would call up John. I would say, hey, man, what would this look like? Can you come get this job? And can I work for you this day for free just so that I can get this job, or can you pay me, $100 or 10% or whatever to do this job? And I'm sure John would say, like, yeah, I'll give you 10%, if you give me the job. Like, you made the contact, you did the groundwork, you did everything, and all I got to do is go there and clean it. Yeah, I'll do that. And it creates a great network.
Contractors.
It creates a great network. Yeah.
Network with other contractors and tell them, hey, listen, I got this job. I'm not qualified to do it. I'll come and help you. You do, I can do it for free. Pay me a little bit of money. Here is the job. And I want to learn from it. The network is so important nowadays that, believe it or not, you can team up with very, very good guys. I network with my local contractors. And when we have jobs, we help each other. I have contractors that come from Orlando to help me do work because sometimes the job is too big, and not for nothing, I'm getting a little older, and I can probably not handle the whole thing by myself. So they have come and help me. The other thing is look for the people that are out there that are willing to help you.
Yeah,
and they're not looking to put their hands in your pocket.
Right, and you could effectively make that a business of just getting leads and passing them off, and you just taking a commission.
You're building Home Advisor. No, but honestly, like, yeah, I mean, I've thought about that too. If this year I'm going to be hiring a sales team, and I don't want to cap their commission. So if I could have them sell a product and pass it off to somebody else, that could be a way of bringing in money. But to each their own. Everybody's got their thing, and everybody's got their gig and everything. As long as you're selling at fair market values or higher, I think that's fine. I would love to get somebody to call me and say, hey, I got an $800 house for you to do. Give me $100. Hell yeah. I'll take that all day, every day. All day, every day. You call me with a job instead of a lead? Absolutely.
Right.
So call me to put money in my pocket? I'll take that all day. So we've got some comments here. And I want to highlight, I think that there was one here. So I wanted to talk about real quick how much time do we got on here? How much time do you guys have? I don't want to respect your guys' time too. We've been on here for a minute. What do we think? We want to get to wrap it up, or we have time for a couple more questions?
Yo, let them ask.
Okay. Well, there was a comment here that says, same question. Most have been answered numerous of times. This is why you have the sarcastic responses. We live in a society of instant gratification. Many in the newer generation don't take the time to research anything. They just post the same questions over and over again. So, I'm just, for everybody listening, I'm 33 years old, right? So that you'll be able to tell exactly where I fall on the spectrum. I'm kind of a millennial. I'm kind of a Gen X, or whatever the hell came before. Yeah, came before that. So I'm at that age where I didn't have the instant gratification, and I also did have the instant gratification. So I know what both worlds are like. John, I'm assuming you grew up in the world where there was less instant gratification. You had to go, if you wanted to learn something, you went to the encyclopedia, and you had to, there was no Google, there was no Facebook, there was no, it was
Atlas.
It was Atlas. Yeah. And so, breaking open the map to figure out where something is. There was no map.
That book was like freaking, there was no MapQuest. We had to buy a freaking 2 inches of book, the book to get directions, where you go all the way to the back of the page, find the A and B coordinates, and then that'll tell you how to get there. Oh yeah. So I remember those things.
So let me ask you now. We don't live in that world anymore, right? Or we completely don't live in that world. This is the age where things are. This is the age of information. This is the age of instant gratification. This is I'm sitting here right now talking to two people on different parts of the world, while I have comments from all over the world coming in one after another after another. This is the age of instant gratification. We didn't have to film this separately and then pay a network to broadcast it, and then hear back the ratings a couple days later. This is the universe of instant gratification. Even our marketing, we do Facebook ads. Why? Because we want that sale today. We want a job tomorrow. So what is it what is the compromise? I guess I'm asking, because I understand people getting the same, like, for example, I see the home advisor question asked 2-3 times a week. Hey, what do you guys think of home advisor? What do you guys think of home advisor? What do you guys think of home? I see that question asked 2 to 3 times a week. And I'm somebody that took the time and energy and money to make a video about it. What is the compromise? I know how everybody feels about it, but what can be the compromise to somebody that is new, that doesn't understand how the group's culture? What is the compromise that you would tell them in order to not get raked over the coals and to take one more step and use the search bar? Like, how's that compromise to find that information?
For me, I don't know that there's a compromise. I know guys get tired of answering the same question over and over, but those questions get buried. You know, they get buried, and I pose the question to you guys again: if we have a group that that stands on, we're here to help, and then you ask a question, and then they tell you to go search it. Like I said, instant gratification. Yes, we can Google search it, but maybe we've already Google searched it and we're getting a bunch of different conflicting things. Well, let me ask somebody who knows what they're doing, who actually does this, right? Or you're gonna stumble across a YouTube video of someone who, like you guys said, don't know what they're doing, and they're gonna tell you to throw, 12.5% SH on a roof.
not just Google. I think the argument is use the search bar in the
In the group. Okay.
Yeah. Use that search bar. The question that's been already answered, and you've already had everybody that's qualified answer the question, and you've already had that conversation.
Mhm.
Keep in mind, guys, that also the same question that's been asked over and over and it's been answered over and over. Sometimes you just, remember, people need to do their research. Okay. A lot of people are getting used to being handout information. Like, oh, just because you put a, I didn't do that. I researched. I did a lot of research. Okay, for years. Now, the beauty about these groups is that this information is out there so much that, yeah, your first thought should be go to the search box on that group and type in, how to use bleach. Trust me, you're going to have to research which one is the one that most of the people are agreeing with. And we're talking about the educated answers. Okay, most of them are agreeing with, and then probably contact that person. Say, hey, buddy, I just saw you, your answer about this topic. Can I please ask you a couple other questions? You know what I mean? Ask the questions. Don't just assume that the first answer you receive is gonna be the right answer. That's why that search bar is very important too, because you can get multiple answers out of that one question. Now you gotta do your research to see which one is.
Which one? Did I lose you?
You guys didn't hear me?
Oh no, I heard you got to do your research and you have to see which one.
And which one is the correct answer.
Got it. So yours is more of a process of elimination, and like a community fed thing. So okay, yeah, no, I can understand that, and I think that's I think they're both strong points, and I think okay, so it sounds like the compromise has to do with the community culture. If I can maybe offer that, in some communities, the culture is use the search bar. In some communities, um, the culture is we're fine explaining this 1,000 different times. So I think the answer to your guys' to that question is to make sure you join a community that fits your personality and fits your needs as a business owner. Would you guys say that's fair?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
And one of the great groups out there right now, I'm going to do a shameless plug, Experience Training Association for New Contractors. We don't judge, we don't question you, we help you. That's a group created by me with two other administrators, Mr. Carlos Gonzalez. Everybody knows him in the business, so you know you will get the right answer from him. Mr. Oh my God, he's going to kill me. Jose Llerena. Okay, Jose Llerena. We became really, really good friends, and that guy is also a great guy and a wealth of knowledge. We have two moderators, Derek Bradwick and Mr. John West. Right there, you guys have, a group of people that will put out, and also members, Novini, Mr. Raymond, Jamie Smith. You got, if I forget a name, please forgive me. But we have a lot of good, educated people in that group. Join it. Okay, you will get a lot of good content from it.
So I want to speak on this real quick. Can us in the conversation, I'm trying to moderate the conversation as best as possible, or the comments as best as possible. But there's a lot of poison in there, guys, and hopefully, people can kind of see through that. If we could stay off of the comments, because I really want us to focus on this conversation. You guys are dropping some serious gems here, and there's just people provoking people in the comments, and it's really not worth going and provoking people, guys. We're sitting here with Mr. Derek Harper. This man has a master's degree, been in the industry doing pressure washing for 5 years, and has decided to go full time in this past year. Huge accomplishments behind him. We've been sitting here with Mr. John Sacco. He has more knowledge in this industry than a lot of these people have been alive. So, we got to give it up for these guys taking the time to speak with us, give their perspectives, and answer these really tough questions that the industry as a whole has been craving to be answered. And again, this video is not for the people that I think have definitely given some great perspectives on that, and Derek has given some great desires from that group. But this video is for really newer people that are looking to seek this information. We've got guys here. Like I said, MBA and 25 years experience, man. It doesn't get better than this. We've got some all-stars here. So thank you again. And this
also, if I may add, looking to organizations that are well known in the industry. You have the PWNA. Fantastic organization. I've been a member for I think the last 3 years. Spray Wash Pro, PWNCA, which I'm a board member, and we provide so much great content. Now there is going to be a little cost, but your cost will pay off. And I'm not selling anything here, but I'm advising you that if you're going to decide to invest money in education, do it to organizations that are willing to provide that information, okay? And those, the one I mentioned, have been vetted by many people, okay, that are educated in the industry and know what they do for the industry.
So I actually want to get into that. I have a question here. And this is kind of posed to both of you guys. So this question here, honestly, is going to give you an opportunity to plug your resources, to plug other people in the community that have been doing well. So this is the question. Business owners have to wear many hats to succeed. They're marketers, they're sales people, their service technicians, their customer service representatives, and more. We know that there are quality resources out there that can help business owners remove certain hats or at least lighten the burden of a particular job. What resources can you recommend that you feel will help a business owner lighten their load and grow their resources? So this could be Facebook group, this could be learning exercises, this could be pretty much anything that you want. Where could I, as a business owner new to this industry, go to lighten my loads? And let's start with you, Mr. Saka.
Actually, I'll let Derek start with that because
Okay.
I already said a couple of them. Let's see what Derek has to say.
Okay.
So when you are talking about lightening your load and taking off some of the hats, right? That you wear, that is business structure, right? So that has nothing to do with pressure washing, right? That's
Sure.
time management. That's business structure. Learning how to delegate. Those are qualities that you won't learn sitting in a class teaching you how to clean wood, right?
Yeah, I go to an accountant, not a pressure washing accountant.
Right. Right. So if you want to learn some of those things, and I'll take a step back and say, you need to learn everything that you need to know about business organization, business structure. Again, like learning how to be a leader, because you're gonna have to study. And one of the things that I learned when starting out is that you want to grow as fast as possible, right? I took the slow route, and I saw a comment in there. A guy was trying to be, just be slick talk, funny guy, and say, "Well, it took you 5 years to learn this." Well, it didn't take 5. Yeah, it didn't take 5 years to learn it. It took 5 years because of the situation that I'm in. I have kids and I have a family, and we took on a lot of things that we shouldn't have early on when we first moved from Virginia to Georgia. So I wasn't, Virginia. So I wasn't in a place where I could say, I'm going to, quit my job and I'm going to just focus on this full time because I had other obligations, and I don't want to. I almost threw a number out there of what bills cost, but that's neither here nor there. But
right, you don't have to defend yourself on it. We're just talking about resources here.
Yeah, so resources. You can go to YouTube, and there'll be people that will give you great pointers. They're giving you great nuggets that you can learn how to do that. You can also come to me if you would like. I do more than just hey, let me run your Facebook ads. I actually talk to you. I actually figure out what market you're in, because your market is going to determine. I just had a guy this week saying that another guy helped him run his ads, and he didn't get anything from him. And so when I checked, before I just said, hey, go with me, I just said, hey, let me do the strategy for you. Let me check all of your demographics. I checked all his demographics. I checked where he lived. I found out that it's only 24,000 people that live there, and within 5 or 10 miles of him, there were 20 guys doing pressure washing, and they've been in a business for a long time. So I realized, hey, look, your market is saturated, and you're going to have to expand outside of your city. And somebody who is a quote unquote claim to be guru, who will just set up your ads for you and just sit you there and don't do any other market research, they wouldn't know that. And the guy didn't know that. So the guy come to me, and the guy is so appreciative of me because I took the time to research his market. I took the time to see what he was doing and to see the opportunities for growth, in which he didn't even have a shirt that had his name and a number on it. When he went out to work, he just wearing a hoodie and a t-shirt, or a hoodie and a t-shirt and some sweatpants, and he didn't even have a $35 magnet to go on the side of his truck. So I was like, here's opportunities for growth. This is your market. You need to expand to the next city, and to the other cities that you can get to within in 20 to 30 minutes.
Absolutely. And I wanna just elongate that if you don't mind, John. But when you guys are doing marketing, you know, my credentials, I have sold a product in every state. I've sold products in literally every 50 state and I think 3 or 4 countries. Every market is different. So when you're buying a cookie cutter marketing solution from people, you have to be very careful because what works in my market is not going to work in John's, and it's not going to work in Derek's, and it's not going to work in yours.
Right.
So to me, one of the benchmarks for a quality market service, marketing service, is market analysis. If a brand, if a company, if a first, that's quality because other than that, you're buying a cookie cutter solution, and I wouldn't pay more than Fiverr prices for something like that. But when you're talking about brand building, where you're talking about market analysis, it's going to cost you more, but it has the opportunity to yield you higher results. So if you're there's 2 different levels, right? And I'm not saying that cookie cutter solutions are bad. I'm just saying that they are less they are less valuable than a bespoke service. And something happened with the feed, or at least my feed. So I just want to make sure. Okay, looks like we're still going. So yeah, looks like we're still going. So yeah, if you're thinking about spending money on marketing, decide first: is this a bespoke service? And if so, expect to be on the higher side, or is this a cookie cutter service? And that's fine, but expect to be on the lower side. So that's just one thing I think is, and the biggest thing is market analysis with that.
Right.
It's
and vet the people that you are hiring. Okay, vet 100%. The people you are hiring, because there is too many marketing gurus out there that will promise you to get you so much. They will promise you to make $30,000 a month, 6 figures a year. Okay, once you give them your money, you're done.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and we know a few people, including Derek, that they are out there and they're taking people's money. Okay, with the promise of getting you out there in Google ads and Facebook ads, and they charge you $700-800, and what they're doing is a copy and paste from somebody else's advertising and using it on you. Vet the people. Don't just release money. Myself, I lost thousands of dollars trusting these marketing guys, and at the end, I didn't get no results for 3-4 months, paying them $650-700 a month. Okay, and I do my research. So imagine.
It's a gamble, marketing doesn't equal success. And somebody put it here: market analysis can be valuable, but but there's nothing like boots on the ground, boots on the ground marketing. And I would say to any entrepreneur, like, I'm a big advocate of door-to-door knocking. That's just, I'm a sales guy first, though. It's kind of that problem of, if you're not feeling well, if you go to a cardiologist, it's going to say it's your heart. If you go to, a brain doctor, he's going to say it's your brain. If you go to, there's a confirmation bias. So you have a marketer that's telling you, marketing. You have a salesperson that agrees that boots on the ground. And then you have a 25-year veteran that says experience, right? And you have to kind of decide as a man, as a woman, as a person in business, as a business owner, you have to decide for yourself what is going to be the path that you're going to do. And then, like John says, do your research, making sure that you're vetting these people, making sure that you're choosing a quality service, make sure, just like you don't buy any old pressure washing machine. You gotta rip it. You gotta see how it runs. You gotta, just like you buy anything. You go on Amazon, there's stars, there's reviews, things like that. If I was hiring a marketer that had a wealth of experience or claimed to have a wealthy experience, I would ask for some references. I think that's a very simple thing. Give me 2-3 references that I can call and contact and see how you're doing. If you're rocking with somebody that's newer or is just starting out their business, say, hey, let's do this on a commission basis. I'm willing to pay you X if I get X results, and that way it's a mutual thing. They're able to build their brand and get referrals, and then you're able to get some low cost marketing. So there's a lot of give and take when it comes to. Oh, we have a question.
There's a great question. There's a great question there, John.
From Carlos.
Yes.
Oh, I love this question. I'm sorry. I love this question. What is the difference between marketing and sales? Can I answer this, guys? Do you mind?
Of course. Go right ahead. The question was to you. The question was to you. It says, John, what is the difference?
So, I am a huge believer in the marketing funnel, right? We've seen this done. And at the top of the funnel, you have things like awareness, intent, engagement, things like that. And at the bottom of the funnel, you have interest and buy, and just things like that. So you have a top and a bottom of the funnel. In fact, you know what? We need to put this up because this is very, very important.
Now, don't take the whole show, John.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to. I know this is your guys' thing, but I love this question. This is probably one of the best questions of the night. Because it was toward me. Just kidding. I love you guys. All right. So I'm going to share this screen. All right. I'm going to share this screen. Can you guys see the screen?
Yes. The marketing funnel.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm a big believer in this thing. And I just Googled this, so bear with me here. But you have awareness, interest, consideration, intent, evaluation, and purchase, right? So this is how marketing companies and marketing brands or any major brand is funneling you. First thing, they have to make sure that you know they exist. Next, they have to find people and engage and create content to make sure that people are interested. Then you have to consider. Next, you have to show intent to purchase, evaluation, deciding whether you're going to do it or not, and then buy. So let's make this really simple. Nike just came out with some new shoes. They have to make sure you're aware of it. So you see a Facebook ad, and guess what? There's those Nike shoes. Then you say, man, this is interesting color. This is an interesting ad. This is, they're using LeBron James, or they're using Luka Doncic to promote this. I like those people. So I'm interested in this. Consideration. I'm going to click the website because I want to see how much this costs. I want to see what materials is it made out of. Does it come in my size? Blah, blah, blah. Intent. I add it to the cart. Evaluation. I go to the cart. I check shipping. I put it all in. And I see what it looks like. Purchase. I hit the buy button. That's the marketing funnel. Now, with the marketing and sales funnel is different for different industries, and it can vary depending on what your skill set is. There are companies that focus on their employees on being order takers. So the marketing is doing everything from awareness to evaluation. They're doing all of that. That's the marketing's job. There are companies that are hardcore sales focused, right? And that is from
John, can I interrupt you for a minute, bro?
Of course.
You have 1 minute to answer the question. What is the difference between? I don't want to know none of that. The question is really clear.
Okay.
What is the difference between sales and marketing? 1 minute.
Okay. I mean, do it one sentence. Sale or marketing, so that you can.
There you go.
He's here. He's still here. In your business and or your services, sales is matching the customer with a service that your business does and is qualified to. Those are the differences. So marketing is just the interest and the beginning of the communication, and the sales piece is the matchmaking. It's saying, hey, I have that, or I don't have that. Let me refer you here. That's the difference.
Okay.
In sales.
I'm going to give you a very quick answer that the same person who asked the question answer it. Okay. Let me find it here. You see his answer?
Yeah, that's a pretty
marketing is a contest to get someone's attention.
I like that. I like that.
You can get it any simple than that, bro.
No, 100%. And that's what it is. It's yeah, that's a great answer. I love that answer. I love that answer. That really is what it is. You know, and this is why I have a problem with guys that say, I can definitely get you this in marketing, right? Because it's very, very hard. Like there's so many variables with you know, competing that you have no idea.
Right.
With sales, it's a little bit different, and this is why I personally like sales, because I can control everything that I do. I can't control what this guy, that guy, and that guy is doing. They may be out marketing the hell out of me, but I can control outselling somebody. You know, it's kind of a one-on-one game versus a competing against ghosts. You just have no idea. But that's a great answer. I love that. But yeah, marketing precedes sales, and I think they should be split. I really do think that they should be split. It's not a both under the same umbrella thing. I have a marketing hat that I put on, and I have a sales hat that I put on. They're two different hats. And then I have a pressure washing hat that I put on. You know, I think it's important to get good at each one of those skills. You know, so.
But going back to what this live video is about, just vet your people, guys. Okay. That's all I can say. Bet the people you're gonna hire.
100%.
Okay. Don't just as soon as you open YouTube and you see, I'm gonna teach you how to make 6 figures a year. I'm gonna teach you how to make $1,000 a day. It's not happening unless you have money to invest and you're gonna go out there. And then again, I'm not knocking the guy out with the 2.5 gallons a minute, okay? But the 2.5 gallons a minute to clean a house and think you're gonna make $1,000 a day, that's a totally bogus.
It's hard.
Okay?
It's not. I've done it. I've done it.
It is hard.
I've done it.
I'm not gonna say impossible.
I've done it. I've done it. I've cleaned a 17 unit townhouse community with 2.3 gallon per minute machines, and we made $3,000 over 2 days.
How long did it took you, Derek?
It took 16 hours. It took 2 8-hour days.
$3,000, 2 days.
Right. It took two 8-hour days.
What was your process to clean? What was your process to clean those townhouses in 2 days?
What was the process?
Yeah.
We did our regular SH mix with our surfactant. We only had to clean the front of them, and then we did the driveways and
So you only cleaned the front of it, the front of the building.
Right. Yeah, so all we needed to do was clean the front of all of the buildings, and then we did the driveways.
You did 7 driveways in 2 days.
We did. It was 17. It was 17 of them, and we did. And now, I know a lot of people are probably pulling out their calculators right now, saying, "Wait a minute, you should have charged $7,000-8,000." Now, look, those driveways were not full driveways; they were little tiny little driveways. Okay, so it only took about 10 minutes to do them.
Hold on, John. I want to hear what he said because this is funny and it's really interesting.
Yeah. So
I like this. I love this.
So those were really small, little tiny driveways. Okay. And also keep in mind, this was a couple years ago. So still in that learning the phase of, the pricing and everything. Right. So those were really small driveways. Like literally it only took about 10 minutes to clean each one of those.
What are you talking about is what was the square footage of those driveways there?
Barely 100 square feet, probably. Barely 100 square feet. They were small. They were you couldn't park a car on them. They were just there so you can get into the garage.
Oh, was gonna say you can't park a car.
Yeah, you couldn't park a car on them. Take out of context.
So
do you downstream or you use a 12-volt system?
We
Pump,
he said
we
to
da-
apply your chemical. I know. Okay.
we
To
we
apply your chemicals.
yeah,
What do you use?
we downstreamed through those 2.3 gallon per minute machines, but actually it wasn't downstreaming because if you run bleach through those things, man, they corrode, and I learned that from buying 3 or 4 of them. Yeah. So we're running we're running bleach through those things. So we had to go out and buy an X-Jet. So in order to get the bleach on the house the rest of the time.
How many pressure washers do you have to buy after you run bleach through your pump?
If I run bleach through my pump, man, that thing can go out I've had one go out after like 10 uses. I had one go out after like 1 use. So, I found myself buying a new pressure washer every single year with those Home Depot.
I'm just talking about the process of those 17 drivers. You say you run bleach through your pump. So how many pressure washers from that job you use after you did that process?
After I did,
all with one.
We had two. We had two that we were running simultaneously.
Yeah. Okay. How much was your overhead, your profit of that job?
The profit of that job, man.
You don't have to be exact number, but give me an average.
At the end, I think we're still over $3,000. At the end of it, because we only used about 30 gallons of bleach, I think, for that. And
how much you pay per gallon?
Well, if I get a 15-gallon drum, it's about $36, I think, or 30 to 40, around $40, I think.
$36 for a 15.
Yeah, so we're spending. So
2.5 gallons.
Hold on. So wait a minute. Let me get it right, because I want to make sure I'm right. Because when I go, I can get 5 gallons, and it only costs me about 13, between 13 and $15 or so. So we have a pressure washing store.
You need to know your numbers.
Right.
Need to know your numbers before you put out YouTube telling people you're gonna make $1,000 a day, brother. Okay, that's the most important thing. That's my advice from the bottom of my heart to you. Same thing with the guy that does the six figures a year. Okay, you guys need to know your numbers. You guys need to know your expenses and how much at the end you're gonna make, because you didn't make $3,000. You have gas, you have overhead. You didn't do it by yourself, because you just said that you had 2 pressure washers running. So now you got a helper. Now you got labor. Okay, there is a lot of things. You got insurance. You know what I mean. If you're a legit business,
right, yeah.
Insurance.
We have insurance.
So there's a lot of expenses that you have to deduct when you tell somebody make $1,000 a day.
Yeah, but do we?
Oh, sorry.
But
this is great. Actually,
in the context in which we said it, you said you can't make $1,000 in a day. Like, yes, you can, regardless of whatever you have overhead. You still made that $1,000, because if you didn't make that $1,000, you wouldn't be able to pay what you needed to pay in order to run the business effectively.
So you have.
Now, if you were talking about net sales, how much? What you're talking about is you didn't net $1,000. We did gross $1,000 a day. We did not net $1,000 a day. But in all honesty, we actually did net $1,000 a day, because it didn't cost that much overhead. I think we're still over $3,000. Now, this was like 2 years ago, right? So if I don't know my numbers spot on exactly, then forgive me. But we did actually net over $1,000 a day from those 2 days, because we made it was $35 to it was like $3,500 to $3,700 or something like that. So so with our overhead, you know, our insurance was only $40. You know, gas, it wasn't that far away. You know, like I said, we may have spent $80 to $90 on bleach and surfactant, and you know, so we did actually net over $1,000. So in the context of what you're saying, like I said, the context of what you're saying, did we make $1,000 a day? Yes, we did gross over $1,000 a day. Did we net over $1,000 a day? Yes. Now there are people that will say, I made $1,000 a day. Yeah, you made $1,000 a day. You grossed it, but you didn't. But you netted $750, right? So that's what I'm saying.
So I think going back to kind of the original question, and I think this is one of the original questions was, is it a content creator's responsibility to give context of that? Because I know I was called out specifically about that, and it made me think about it heavily, and the information I was providing. Is it a content creator's perspective to say, well, I mean, listen, I'm gonna play devil's advocate for Derek here and say that the title and the thumbnail can be kind of whatever it wants. The goal of that is only to get the click. So I'm talking about the context, or the context that is in the video. So when someone watches the video, is it your responsibility to give the context of, I made $1,000, but I had to, it took me 2 days, or I made $3,000. Okay, I guess the question is, what sounds more glorious? I made $1,000 a day, or I made $3,000. I had to buy 2 new pressure washers, have a person help me. You know what I mean? The reality of it, like really painting the reality. Is it our responsibility to paint the reality and give that full context, or is it all about the clicks, and is it all about the views?
Yeah. To give the context, I believe is an important part, because like John said, you don't want to be out there misleading people. Like I said, you can say, well, I made 10 grand this month, and that may be very well true. In that context, you did gross 10,000 this month, but if your expenses are 7,000, you know, you didn't make 10,000 this month. You net 3,000, right? You net 3,000. You gross 10,000.
It's a content creator's responsibility to, and I'm not just saying this for this industry, because I'm telling you, it is getting called out everywhere. Ty Lopez is getting raked over the coals. All of these like fake gurus, like that are actually fake gurus that have stolen millions of dollars from people. Dan Bilzerian is getting raked over the coals right now. Like all of these guys are getting dragged for their lifestyle and then painting a lifestyle, but then the realities don't match up. So I guess this question is not just for us in this industry. It's honestly, I'm asking it for everything always. You know, is it a?
It is our responsibility. It is our responsibility 100% to tell the truth. Don't BS people. Don't make them feel like it's like a bunch of guys in all the groups. And I can't stand this. When people go over there, I just finished a job. Check my check out, $15,000. Okay. What was your overhead expense? What was your gas expense for your equipment? What was your gas expense for your truck? Okay. You got maintenance on the truck. Okay. You have helpers. You have labor. You have insurances, workers' comp, truck insurance. Okay, there is a whole bunch of variables that you need to deduct to be able to tell the truth.
So, John, let me ask you, and I'm going to play devil's advocate for Derek here, and just a question. Let's say I pull my first $3,000 job, right? I'm excited, and you know I want to flex a little bit. I've seen guys do this in groups. They'll take a picture of the check and they'll post it. Is that celebrating outside of context, in your opinion?
Is that a question for Derek or me?
Sorry, John, that was for you.
I'm sorry, you repeat the question?
Absolutely. If I post a video, or if I do, like, I don't make content, right? Let's say I don't make content. I'm just a guy pressure washing, and I score my first $3,000 job. I get the $3,000 check. And I posted to a Facebook group, just excited, and I kind of want to flex a little bit, like, "Hey guys, just did my first $3,000 check. Is there? Am I supposed to follow the same rules as like a content creator and give disclosure? Like, yeah, first $3,000 check, but
100%.
You think so?
1,000%. 1,000%. And if that, what is the purpose of fucking a check?
It's flexing. It's a little fun. It's
little fun.
Yeah.
You're making the new guys go like this. I can make that too.
That's the motivation.
Because now you gotta buy insurances, you gotta buy equipment, you gotta buy the right things to get the job done, chemicals. Okay, you are making somebody excited about something they cannot do.
Well, you can't say that they can't do it because they can.
No, I'm not saying they can do in the moment, especially new guys.
What he's saying can't do is you can't make a $3,000 check and keep 100% of it. That's what he's saying you can't do, which is always true.
Right.
The check. There's always going to be at least $1 of expenses coming out, and he's. Oh man, that's an interesting paradigm. I'd like to hear what people think in the comments. Do you think it's and I'm not talking about content creators now. I'm talking about Joe Schmo. I've been pressure washing for a year. I've been doing it the right way. I bought courses. I know what I'm doing. I did everything 100% the right way. But I want to flex a little bit. I want to celebrate with everybody, and I want to post the check of this $3,000 thing.
I don't consider that celebration, bro.
No. I get it, and I don't know if I've done it. I may have done it one time.
There is not a point. There is not a point for you to post the check.
If I've done it, I can. I mean, I'm saying it because it's an emotion that I think I felt before. It feels like, yeah, guys. And honestly, it's like saying, you guys helped me make this money, right? It's honestly like a celebration of me and of the group and everything. And honestly, I'm excited when I see those checks. I'm like, yeah, that guy's out there getting it. He's out there doing it. He's out there, he learned from this group. I want to learn from this group. So it does have a lot of other effects too. But do you guys think that there should be context even on those, saying this was my net and I gross, my net's 3,000 and I gross 2,000. Yay me. Should there be context even in non-content creator spaces? Because I think I agree, and I think or context for content creators, because now you're trying to influence people, right? You're trying to change people's minds. Oh, Derek, you have something?
Oh yeah, well, I want to say this because this was the marketer. This was the marketer and the business mind, in me. So we're content creators, right? And we want to create content, and our goal of being on YouTube is to monetize ourselves. So because pressure washing to bring money in, but every millionaire, billionaire doesn't just do one thing, right? They do more than one thing. They have several different ways that they're getting money, several different income streams. So when I put $750 pressure washing job recap on my videos, right? It's not to say, hey, I made $700 and you can make $700 too. When I was when I first started doing content creation, I watched the pressure washing industry, all the guys that were on YouTube, and I saw a place where I can insert myself it was a gap, and I saw where I can insert myself. And what I did was I piggybacked off another guy who was just crushing it with one specific title, and he was crushing it. And I saw that he didn't know how to optimize his YouTube to continuously be in that top spot of this one thing. And everybody was watching his videos. So I was like, it's only him and like one other guy. So I was like, here's where I can insert myself to where I can leverage what he's doing to get views to my channel. And then, so it wasn't a thing where I'm flexing the $750. Is that I'm using that optimized title so that I could move up in the search results. So it wasn't a thing where I was like, I'm going to show these guys I'm making all this money. So that was never my thought process. Now that could be the thought process for a lot of other guys, but I just saw a gap in the industry and on YouTube where I could assert myself, use all the optimization things that I know that got me, and it worked.
Now I'm gonna ask this question for both of you. Ooh. Did you get in the pressure washing business to be a YouTuber?
No.
Or you got in the pressure washing business to feed your family?
You want to go first, Derek?
Oh, you want me to go first? Okay. So I got in the pressure washing business because, like I said, a guy got me into it, and I wanted to, provide, like you said, provide for my family and everything. And then I saw a way, and again, this is the business. This is the Masters of Business Administration, where I said, okay, I know pressure washing is going to make me, X amount of dollars. It can take me here, but at this point, I need to start building something so I can bring in a second stream of income. And then I understand that YouTube is rented space. I want to take my stuff off of rented space and put it on my own land, meaning my own website. All right. And I want to have different streams of income. Okay. So pressure washing, while it is the main focus right now, I have plans to expand my brand. Okay. And this is just the business person in me. It has nothing to do with devaluing pressure washing. It has nothing to do with like trying to jerk guys around for money and say, hey, come with me. I'll show you how to make tens of thousands of dollars. And, it has nothing to do with that. It's just me personally. I want to build a brand that I can have multiple streams of income, and which everybody should be doing. But a lot of guys, and I had this conversation before, I said a lot of guys, once they've been in the pressure washing industry and their thought process is, I'm going to be the best pressure washer there is, and I'm going to make all of my money off of pressure washing. And that's great for you. But for me, I want different streams of income, different ways that I can bring in income. And I can also help guys start a pressure washing business, help them be profitable, and help them get the independence that they want from working a job. Because I don't know if, I always liken a job to jail. A job is just like jail. They tell you when you got to be there. They tell you when you can eat, when you can't eat. They tell you when you can go to the bathroom, and they tell you when you can go home. The only difference is you actually get to go home. So that's why that proverbial jail and live a life that's free. I'll help them get there. Now, I do what I would like to be compensated for my time, just like you wouldn't want to go out and wash a house for free. So I would like to be compensated for my time for helping you. And when I help you, I'm going to give you the best service that I can give you. I'm not just going to get a couple of videos and say, hey, let me run your ads. No, I'm going to do market research. I'm going to check out your area. I'm going to do everything that I need to do to make sure that I understand where you at, what your demographics are, and how you can effectively market to that group of people using the strategies that I've come up with.
I've been in the pressure washing business and I've helped hundreds of thousands of people for free. What's your answer to that, John?
To what you just said, or the question?
You're leaving coin on the table. That's my answer.
I'm not leaving anything. I'm helping people. You say you want to help people, then you help them. You know what I mean? Now, as a business person, I understand your point, but then don't say I want to help people, because right there is another.
Well, then go wash houses for free. That's helping people. Go wash houses for free.
Oh no! My main business is the pressure washing.
Right.
That's what I feed my family with. But if you're gonna say I want to help people, help them, Derek.
I help them. I have free content on my YouTube.
No, I'm just saying what you.
I give free Facebook ads training on my group.
I see your content, and it's a lot. But you just said a word that you said, I want to get paid to help people. That's not helping people, bro.
It is helping. I have free content. I give free content. I will help. And for my expertise, that's just like a coach. So that means if you're coaching, you're helping people. Let's just tell all of the NFL head coaches, hey, just go ahead and help these guys be better football players, but you're not going to get paid for it.
But those coaches have been coaching for 30, 40, 50 years, bro.
Right.
Exactly. If you want to be a coach, then say, I'm going to coach you. Don't say, I'm going to teach you. I'm going to help you. Because you're not helping them. You're coaching them.
That's an interesting perspective.
Okay.
But you are helping them. You're helping them get out of you can help them get out of a situation in which they don't have to go to work anymore. And all we're asking is to be compensated for our time.
But that's not helping people. You're asking for something in return.
So hold on, before you answer, Derek, I think there's a semantics issue here, right? And it's an interesting semantics issue. This is very interesting. I love this conversation, guys. So John, it sounds like you feel that when you insert the word help, that there should be a no strings attached policy with that.
100%.
And what I think Derek is saying is you can help somebody and get compensated for it. And again, it's just a semantic issue, and it's a very interesting thing that you bring up. Is there a difference between help and coach? You know, is there an actual difference between it, or are we just saying the same word, but we're just saying it differently? So take out the word help, take out the word coach. What other word
you're charging? Then you're charging people to give him a content, to give him education. But the problem is, if you're not, and Derek, this is not personally to you, but if you're not educated, you can't expect to get paid for something that you don't know.
Yeah, well, I think
he is educated specifically on the marketing topic. I mean,
remember what I said? It's not directed to him.
Oh, right. Okay.
No, I'm looking at some of the comments too, and I think people are mistaking like the help that I would give someone is to tell them to, hey, do a 3,500 square foot house for $99. That's not what we're doing. That's not what we're doing here. What we're doing is we're teaching them how to attract.
There's a little video that you got there telling people to clean a house for $99.
And I want to answer that. Video. I want to answer that for him, guys. I got on the phone with Derek. I asked him about that. He expressed that was an earlier content. He gave me the answer why that content exists, and then he's told me that he's moved on from that. This is the problem with people just finding, like, when we're talking about giving things in context, that goes for everything that's said, not just the success stories. But if you're going to bash somebody, you have to bash them in context. You have to call them. Stop jumping into comments and talking about what this person is or isn't doing. Call them saying, hey, why do you have this video? And he clearly expressed his point of views on it. And now I know, and I completely understand where he's coming from now. And it makes sense, right? So please, guys, stop taking slithers from things and demonizing everyone's actions based on these small slithers. That's not what
it's just all those small slithers are becoming to be one big problem.
Well, we have to look at
the context is still out there in YouTube, and the new guys are finding that content.
And I can understand that point. So let me ask you, John. Sorry, Derek.
I said, you can see it. If we're marketing and we're talking about context, if I market a service at $99, right? The only thing that I'm looking for is for people to pick up the phone and say, hey, tell me about that deal, because that gives me a chance to be what? The seller now, right? That gives me a chance to be the seller. Okay, so I'm saying, okay, yeah, we could do your house for, up to 1,000 square feet. Let's just say that now I'm just giving an example, right? So let's just say, yeah, we do houses for $99 up to 1,000 square feet. How many houses do you see for 1,000 square feet? Not many, right? probably not any at all, unless we're talking about a tiny home. Most tiny homes between 800 and 600 and 800 square feet. So if we're doing a tiny home and we're getting $99 for something we can do in 15 or 30 minutes, we're in a sense from the business standpoint making $200 an hour, right? Because we could do $99 in 30 minutes. The point of this is not to say, hey, go out and promote $99. But I'm saying the thought process behind it is just to get people to pick up the phone and call you, to have that chance to speak to more people, because marketing in some aspects is a numbers game.
Okay, so let me ask you this question. Hold on, John. Out of your YouTube videos, okay, how many customers call you and how many new contractors call you?
How many customers call me and how many new contractors?
Out of YouTube.
Off of my YouTube videos?
Yes.
Well, my YouTube videos are not marketing towards those guys.
I'm sorry, say that again.
My YouTube videos don't market towards, getting new customers. They're marketing to, well, not even really marketing to, but they're just for entertainment or maybe for informational purposes. And I think the video that you're referring to is probably the one where I said in that video that when I started, this is the pricing model that I had when I started. I did have that pricing model. You know why I got that pricing model? Because I watched a YouTube video where another guy was using, he lives in Georgia, upstate. He's not too far away from me. He had that pricing model and he gave me that. And when I implemented it, it worked. You know how many houses that I did for, do you know how many houses I did for $99? 2.
So we just copied.
And I made 20, I made in 3 months. I grossed, let me say this. I grossed in 3 months. $24,000 in my first year. Grossed.
John, the question for you is, your $600 video, what is the purpose for you to make that video? For customers to look at it or for contractors to look at it?
Neither. The goal
is it also for entertainment?
No, it's not for entertainment at all. Can I mention one thing that Derek? I want to say one thing on Derek's part, and then I'm more than happy to answer your question, because I want to give a perspective from a sales piece about what was just said. I don't personally believe that we should be. Oh gosh. I don't believe that anybody should be actively advertising something that nobody fits in, right? As a salesperson, right? Because I've worked in industries where I'm the salesperson, and then there's the marketing person, and then I have the marketing person directing a customer to me, and then I have to convert them, and it just makes for a sale that's not having to be made with like complete integrity. So I mean, as from a market or from a salesperson standpoint, I probably would never start my marketing with something, and this may be a flaw, and I may want to talk to you a little bit more about that, because this may be a flaw just in my perspective right now. I don't see, I see it almost as bait and switch, but because if
it is bait and switch, because there's no questions about it.
Well, I have to talk to Derek more about it, and this is I'm saying this out loud because I want everybody to do the same thing. I need to talk to this man about it, understand his perspective completely, so that way I can have full context as what he's saying. But that's a longer conversation that I don't think is fit for here. But I want to encourage everybody, if you have a question for this man, reach out to him and talk to him, and go in his groups and talk to him, and and same thing with John too. So, everybody. But yeah. I'm sorry. That was all I had to say about that piece.
That's not my.
Now let me ask you this: are you a salesperson or a marketer?
Sales first.
Okay. So Derek, are you a salesperson or a marketer?
Well, I do a little bit both, but I would call myself marketer first and then sales.
We got the dream team right here. We got the pressure washing guy. We got the marketing guy. We got the sales guy. Let's start a pressure washing company, all three of us. We'll crush it.
Yeah. I do want to say that pricing model is not my pricing model now. That's where I started because I didn't have the information for the industry at that point, right? I didn't know,
Can I ask
you
you a
know,
favor then? In the name of the industry, take it down, please.
That's interesting.
In the name of the industry, and I'm speaking for everybody in the industry, take it down, please.
right. Well, I started there. I've evolved from there, and I think where I was getting at in the beginning of that, I think that was uh, uh, a an example that I was given. I was like, hey, look, when I started, I did this, boom, I did 99 this, and you can do 99 for this and 199 for this. And that was the pricing model. Like I said, I started with that and I evolved from that because I learned the value of what pressure washing is for certain houses. And then we started doing, you know, 12 to 15 cents a square foot on the houses, and 15 to 20 cents a square foot on the driveways and things like that. And then adding for, bleach and travel, and that all came in. But what for me, I needed to know how I could make money right now, get started, and then I would worry about the little intricacies later, which now I'm getting into.
That's cool.
To learning the intricacies and of all the little things that I can add for, and now adding the organizational pieces to the business. And I'm looking forward to hiring somebody this year.
That is awesome, Derek. I congratulate you, bro, that you evolved to what you are right now. But take that video down because it's a bad example for everybody in the industry.
Well, we're not.
I mean, it's already the.
Yeah, it's something. Things work. Certain things work for certain people.
So that means you're just keeping that video in there for people to find you and for people and so you can gain viewers and all that. Just be realistic. Let's just be honest here. You know what I mean? We're already on the platform. So is that
right? I mean, well, the point of YouTube is for people to watch your videos.
Okay, but we're just talking about videos that have the wrong content on it.
Well, I wouldn't necessarily say it's the wrong content. I would just say this is for the industry using that pricing model. What guys think for that pricing model might not be, looked upon, but you can't, like, if a guy's just starting out, he can't, he I wouldn't advise him to say, hey, I'm going to charge you $600 for a 3,500 square foot home, when you don't have any skin in the game. So somebody says, hey, all right, well, give me some references. You don't have any. So, if I'm starting out with a lower pricing model and I'm trying.
Make new content with the ones that you're saying right now, the $125, $200, $300 a watt. Put the new content. You know what I mean? Right now, people are going into they find pressure washing information in YouTube. The first thing is gonna pop out because you have a lot of views on that video. It's gonna pop right out, and people are gonna be like, "Oh, there you go. I can charge $99." He's doing it because you saw somebody else doing it. I don't think that's the right thing to do. And I'm not attacking you. I'm just advising. If you can do that, that'll be great. It's up to you, bro. At the end, as you can see, all the people in the comments, they are requesting for that video to be pulled down because it's bad information.
We're not super worried about the people in the comments unless there's.
Oh yeah, we are super worried about the people in the comments, my friend. You know why? Because they are the industry.
Sure.
They are the industry.
Right.
And a lot of guys left because their comments got deleted. Okay.
Listen,
we are here because of them.
But we're not. This is not a conversation between all of them and Derek. This is a conversation between you and Derek, and I want to keep it contextually there.
Right, but we have to listen to what they have to say too. They're the industry.
As long as they have good, questions, then I'm happy to bring those in. But I want to keep the conversation because they're behind a keyword right now. You chose to come on here on this platform, and
no, I didn't choose. I was put in this position by Derek through a YouTube video that over 600 people watched. Okay, I was put in this position. I didn't ask to be here. I was challenged and I accepted the challenge. Let's clear that up.
Do we want to talk about that, or do we want to leave that?
No. But you say that I chose to come here. I didn't choose to come. I responded to a challenge.
Okay.
And I leave that up at that.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I just yeah. So just want to make sure we keep everything cool and just a conversation between you two right now. It can't be Derek versus the entire industry. It's just got to be two.
But don't forget, we're the pressure washing friends too. So it's like 18,000 members against me.
Yeah. Hey, no, so, I'm watching them too. I don't want them to be commenting on your stuff too. Like I want them to be just as respectful to you as they are to Derek. Unfortunately, they feel like they want to be funny.
Yeah, they're not being respectful to me. I don't care. Any press is bad press. Bad press is good press. Any press is good press. My video's been shared like 4 times in this thing. So now my views are going up. Thank you.
No, it's not. We're not trying to be petty. Let them waste their life and their time like just trolling. That is what they are. If they have meaningful content, like we have shared some questions from them that have been, I think, essential to this conversation. There have been some great points. There have been some great things in here. I just hope that anybody watching this can kind of go through all of this and find the gems. Because it's really unfortunate that we just have just rants on here, but it is what it is. Again, I appreciate you guys for both coming on here. You guys are amazing.
We say when it joined us.
Let me say this on record in front of everybody though. John, Mr. Seiko, I didn't have any ill intentions with the video. I was just merely pointing out, like, okay, there was a video of a guy saying, what he said, and then because you were in this, you had posted a video and said, here's another guru, and I was like, wait, man, that guy did the same thing to me. So I'm like, hey, look, this is that. So it was nothing. It was that. So if you took it that way, I apologize. So I'm gonna go, on record for everybody to say I apologize for that. But it did. The silver lining, and I realized that after the video. That's why I said, hey, let's talk about it. Let's bring it in front of everybody and let's talk about it, because that was the best way, one, to be able to apologize publicly, and also to get point of view from everybody.
Brother, I'm gonna tell you something. I never posted any videos of you. Okay, you decided to post my name and everything, and like I said, I accept your apology, but you decided to post my name, my picture in YouTube for everybody to see. You know what that created to me? And that whole week, okay, I had so many people texting me, okay, messaging me with hatred, okay, because of that video. They even brought my mother into all the hatred, insulting my mother because of that video. Just, I want you to know that. I never posted anything about you. I posted it about Safe. He should have been big enough to do the same thing, which he did. He did the first video of the pressure washing police, okay? But once again, my advices to him were constructive. If he didn't take it that way, that he could have called me too and say, why are you posting this on my page? And I would have explained it to him. You can't be charging $99 an hour to talk to somebody on the phone when you're telling them to put it advertising in people's mailboxes. But he wasn't that type of gentleman. You did. Okay? Your video created so much hatred and so much issues in my life for a whole week, okay, that even my mother was brought into this. And what does she have to do with any of this?
So I wanted to take a moment, and again, this has to do with people in the comments. That has to do with just people in general. We have to stop attacking each other. If this last year hasn't taught us anything, if 2020 didn't teach us anything, is that we need to be more unified. We need to be more respectful. We need to love each other more, and we need to watch. There's something to be said. Listen, I grew up in the '90s, so I'm not I'm not opposed to tough love. I'm not opposed to dragging people or anything, but this internet thing is a different thing. This is not this is not your friend's couch. This is public. This is permanent. This is out there, and everybody on the comments, everybody online, me, every one of us need to be very careful about what we're saying in this permanent space, for untold amounts of people to see and to make snap judgments, because we could really be hurting somebody's life, somebody's feelings. I've had things said about me, Derek. I'm sure you've had things said about you. I'm sure there's things in this comment right now about you that are snap judgments, right? And it's wrong. It's wrong.
Just don't bring families into these situations.
Of course.
Okay.
Right.
First of all, family should never be brought into any situation.
I don't really care if you call me a fat pig, but you call my mother a fat pig, a fat whale. That is not acceptable.
I had a situation
that was created by a video of somebody trying to make fun of me. I don't care. They can call me the police, the pressure washing police. You promoted me to the commissioner. Okay. We just came from a 24-hour life, a success that we put together funds for a brother in the industry. Okay. Me and two other gentlemen. We brought the industry together. And we brought different industries together. Okay. I'm not here to ruin your business, Derek, or to ruin Say's business, like it was posted also on the description of that video. Okay, that is really, if it was unprofessional about me, there was a reason why I was being unprofessional, because people are trying to rip off people with the bad information, with wrong information, and nothing against the new guys coming into the business. It is the people that are putting the bad content out there.
Sure, and I think that perspective can be. I think everyone here has, a respect. I hope that we've all kind of grown from this, and I kind of want to wrap up. We've been on here for 2 hours and 40 minutes.
2 hours and 40 minutes. Holy.
Man, you guys have been dropping gems for 2 hours and 40 minutes, man, and I kind of want to wrap this up. On a constructive note, John, you're the man. We've talked. We've had our ups, we've had our downs, we've had our lefts, we had our rights. Mm-hmm. You're my brown brother in arms, man, and you're the man, and I really appreciate you, Derek.
Thank you, brother.
It's been awesome knowing you. It's been awesome watching your content. Honestly, you're gonna make me a better content creator. I think anybody can watch your videos and see that you have something to offer, and I think we can all, you and me, as new content creators in this space, can learn and refine and get better. And honestly, you're ahead of me in that space already, so I'm kind of jealous. But it's dope. It's only pushing me, and it's pushing everybody else forward. So thank you for your contributions, and I'm definitely going to connect with you online in the future, offline in the future, because you got an MBA and I don't, and I'm trying to build some stuff in my brand, and I don't know everything. So I'm gonna definitely utilize you as a resource, man. Just like I can call John for pressure washing things. I'm gonna have to start paying him. He's been dropping too many gems on me. I'm gonna have to start paying you some money.
I want to say something to you, brother. No hard feelings.
Uh-huh.
I told you on the phone. I was here to clear the air out. Mm-hmm. I think we did that. We kept it professional. Okay. And brother, I don't have any hard feelings against you. I love you. I love you, John. I love everybody in the industry. Okay, so my last message will be to all the new guys. Remember, the fake gurus out there, okay, are not there to make your dreams come true. They are made to make the gurus' dream come true. That's my last message. I love you all, and I'm out. Have you all good night.
All right. Derek, any sign-off messages?
Yeah, like I said, John. Yeah, I apologize to you, brother, for the video. Again, like I said, it wasn't anything as far as ill intentions. It was kind of like, I think even before I posted, I was like, watch the pressure washing comedy. I thought it was I just thought it was kind of funny. So I put it out and boom, and then I thought about it afterwards. I was like, man, maybe we should just really just have this conversation on live. So I was like, just pushing you to do the live thing. So that was thing. Like, again, no hard feelings. With you there.
You'll be able to remove that YouTube video, right? Mine.
Oh, yeah.
Mine, please.
That was my biggest video. What are you talking about?
That's not gonna give you any views, bro. That's not gonna give you any views. I'm ugly, so.
Okay. Yeah. So oh my gosh, I'm watching the people in the comments come up as I'm speaking. But yeah, I yeah, there are some guys out there, man, that are there to take your money. I wholeheartedly believe that I'm not one of those guys. Like I said, I'm going to put in work for guys that come to me, and I'm not just giving them a cookie cutter, type of thing. It may look like that on the surface, but once you get inside, I'm actually putting a lot of work in. Like I said, I had a guy come to me from one of the other pressure washing gurus, and I'm not going to say his name or anything, but he came from that guy, and he said, "Hey, I paid $200 to be with this guy, and I didn't get anything." And like I said, I dissected everything about his business. I dissected his area. I dissected the demographics, and I realized he had really little opportunity to grow in his area, and I told him that he needed to expand, and that's exactly what we're working on, getting him to expand. So I don't just give you something and leave you. I stay with you every week. I'm giving them guys accountability calls where I'm going to be checking in on them, and I'm going to be making sure that they are doing the things that the strategy that we implemented, and one of the variables with that is the amount of work that guy is going to put in as well. So I don't take everybody. I don't take anybody who's willing to just throw me $500, $600, $700. And I take people who I know that's going to do the work. I have an application process. All right, that and John, I do understand where you're coming from, because in that coaching business, my coaching business have value, and I would never undervalue my coaching business. So in the same right, we shouldn't undervalue the pressure washing business as far as pricing model. Like I said, I use that pricing model because I was green and I didn't understand. In the video, yes, the video was made in February of last year, but in that video, the context was, this is the pricing model that I used when I started. Okay, so it wasn't say, hey, this is the pricing model that I use now. It's like, hey, I've used this pricing model before. So with all that, being said, thank you for you guys coming on and agreeing to do this. Thank you to everybody that's watching. Like I said, no hard feelings or anything like that. I hope you continue to watch videos, and I'll make it a point to take the constructive criticism tonight and use it in my future videos, so that I bring the right information to the guys, or bring the better information to the guys that are going forward.
Amen, brother. Thank you.
Hold on, I gotta say one thing. TJ's been roasting me, man. Dude, my wife made some bomb at-home pizza, and I've been like, I don't give a shit about y'all. I'm gonna eat my warm-ass pizza. my wife hooked it up. And TJ, if this is the same TJ from the other night?
Yes, it was. Yes, it is.
I want some of that rub, man. I want some of that rub. Whatever y'all were talking about. Like, y'all were talking, and I was salivating, man. I'm a big dude. I don't care. Like, I want some of that rub out here. So hit me in the DMs. I want a good rub and tug. that sounded good. But no, my wife made the at-home pizza, so I don't care about y'all that much. My wife is amazing. So yeah, shout out to her and taking care of that. Yeah, TJ, I'm gonna get in the PMs. Absolutely. But no, thank you guys. We should be doing this more often, like maybe like a once a month thing or something.
Yeah.
This is great. This is awesome. 2020 is going to be the greatest year for everyone. it's going to be nothing but nonstop work, nonstop jobs, nonstop marketing, nonstop sales, nonstop investing, nonstop learning more about the business and growing and getting better, and nonstop. You know, that's the 2021 mindset. So
That's
thank
right.
you guys. You guys are amazing. I'm tired. I want to spend some time with my family. I want to hug my wife out here. So let me go do
All right. All right. Take care, boys.
Thank you.
I appreciate y'all. Thank you.
Later.